We'll move on now then to item 26, presentation on transportation projects in the city of Watsonville. Good morning. Yes, there we go.
Am I good? Good morning. My name is Murray Fonts. I'm Assistant Public Works Director and City Engineer for the City of Watsonville. I appreciate the opportunity to present to the Commission today. Thank you for squeezing me in before the next public hearing. I'd like to introduce, or I would have introduced, Public Works Director Courtney Lindberg. She wasn't able to attend today's meeting in person. She has a conflicting appointment, but I believe she's doing so virtually. The last time Watsonville had a chance to make this presentation was late in 2020, so I will share with you some of the projects we've completed since then and look ahead at what's coming up. Next slide. Watsonville has completed a number of road reconstruction projects on its major arterials, as well as some storm repair, striping, and road maintenance projects. At last night's American Public Works Association Monterey Bay Area chapter meeting, Watsonville received 2 Project of the Year awards. One was for repair of storm damage on Grizzly Flats Road. This $168,000 project repaired an unpaved roadway, which provides sole access to about half a dozen residents. The road was washed out during the New Year's storms from last year, and the city completed the work within 3 months. One of the things that the city did was initially install a temporary pedestrian access. It was not the zip line that you see in the upper right-hand corner, but the residents did use that for a time. The city put in a temporary pedestrian bridge and then later completed the project, which allowed full access for the residents. The second award the city received was for a $4.3 million reconstruction of Freedom Boulevard that included over a half mile of roadway, pedestrian improvements, a new stoplight, a new bus pullout, as well as accessible pedestrian signals at 4 intersections. This project included $1.5 million in state transportation improvement program funds that had been awarded previously by the RTC. Next slide. 2 new traffic signals were installed, one at Airport and Home Road, which was funded through Highway Safety Improvement Program funds, and another at West Beach and Ohlone Parkway using developer fees. Next slide. The city has completed several pedestrian and bicycle safety projects using Major D funds. These include flashing beacons, curb ramp upgrades, separated bike lanes, and neighborhood traffic safety improvements. There were 2 projects that were funded through Active Transportation Program, or ATP grants. One was on Lincoln Street, which included pedestrian and bike facilities as it passes through Watsonville High School, and included the logo of the Wildcat, Willie the Wildcat there, shown in the lower right corner. The other was construction of the first segment of the rail trail, segment 18, phase 1, within the city of Watsonville. The city is currently standing down on further projects on the rail trail, awaiting completion of preliminary design that's part of the current zero emissions passenger rail and trail project. Next slide. Watsonville has used Measure D and ATP funding to finance pedestrian and bicycle safety programs in partnership with Ecology Action and Bike Santa Cruz County. These include providing bicycles and helmets for first-time cyclists, hosting bike camps, and providing pedestrian and bicycle safety training in local elementary schools. Next slide. Watsonville has been successful in using Measure D funds to secure grants. In 2022, the city was awarded a $6.9 million ATP grant to provide pedestrian and bicycle improvements and safety training at 8 schools in the southern part of the city and within the downtown area. The safety training and design is underway, with construction scheduled for the year 2025/26. The city partnered with Santa Cruz County and other local agencies and nonprofits and received a federal Safe Streets for All grant. The city will use its portion of the funding to update Watsonville Vision Zero Action Plan. Watsonville also secured 2 state sustainable transportation planning grants. The most recent will examine high collision corridors within the city, conduct public outreach, and then prepare preliminary plans on one of the corridors. An earlier planning grant assisted with preparation of the recently adopted Downtown Watsonville specific plan by focusing on improvements within the downtown area that would benefit all modes of transportation. This planning grant allowed city staff to work with Caltrans to identify improvements that could be made to the portion of State Route 152 that passes through downtown Watsonville, and contributed toward Caltrans identifying a State Highway Operations and Protection Program, or SHOP project, that will address many of the specific plan goals. Next slide. Director Eads mentioned the 3 SHOP projects that are currently underway in the city of Watsonville. I'd like to report that one of the benefits to obtaining planning grants is it creates an opportunity for local agencies to dialogue with Caltrans and allows for further improvements. In Watsonville, we have 3 highways that run through town, so it's of vital importance for us to do so. He mentioned that one SHOP project known as State Route 152 rehabilitation goes through the city core itself, and we're planning that it will include a first-of-its-kind road diet. We're looking forward to how that will make the city's downtown core area more appealing to residents by improving pedestrian access, as showed from these slides taken from the downtown specific plan. The other 2 projects include the $17.1 million CAP-M project on Highway 129 that will include pavement preservation, improved lighting, sign replacement, and bicycle and ped facilities, and then the $4.6 million downtown Watsonville pedestrian safety project with its enhancements in the downtown area. Next slide. Future pedestrian and bicycle safety projects include several that will benefit city and county residents. This slide shows a series of trails that will eventually link up with one another. One is construction of a bicycle and pedestrian facilities on Harkenslu Road between Green Valley Road and the entrance to Pajaro Valley High School. This includes construction of a pedestrian bridge across Highway 1 and is funded by an $11.7 million ATP grant secured by the city. Another project is the Lee Road Trail, which will extend from the high school driveway to the future rail trail where it crosses Lee Road. The first phase of the Lee Road Trail project is currently in design and will extend from the high school to the Santa Cruz County Land Trust, Watsonville Slough Farms property, where the Land Trust is developing a system of trails and pedestrian amenities that create public access to Hanson Slough. The third leg of this trail network will be the rail trail. Next slide. This year, the city will construct the Green Valley Road Improvements Project as shown on the screen. The cost will be $4 million and includes a recent $1.8 million award of Regional Transportation Improvement Program funding provided by the RTC. Improvements include reconstructing the roadway, improving substandard pedestrian facilities, and providing bike lanes where none currently exist. Last year, Watsonville residents approved Measure R, a citywide sales tax that includes funding for road projects. In anticipation of this funding, Watsonville is conducting a request for proposals to hire consultants to prepare a 5-year pavement maintenance plan and a pavement program manager to implement the plan. The city anticipates the plan being completed later this year with implementation to follow. Next slide. This being Watsonville, I want to bring to your attention that tomorrow is World Wetlands Day, a day when we celebrate the wetlands within the city of Watsonville. Please join us and our partners from Watsonville Wetlands Watch on Saturday, February 3rd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Struve Slough to do wetland restoration work. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there comments or questions from commissioners?
Thank you. You guys are doing a lot of stuff.
Yes, excellent work. All right, we'll open it to questions from the public. Any members of the public wish to comment on the presentation?